Welcome back, troops. Let's Tab 59. Hope everyone's well. As you can see, probably we might better tell. If not, I'm going to tell you anyway. Back in Lincolnshire after our little trip down to Kent at the weekend. So out today, beautiful as you can see, very spring-like, still a bit fresh. Hopefully the wind's not playing up too much for the microphone. So what I want to talk to you today about, well, I'm going to talk to you about when you're a British soldier, when you were a British soldier, and if you were serving out in West Germany at any time, especially for a prolonged period like a 3-year tour or more, or multiple tours, you may well have had a German girlfriend at some stage. Now, of course, I'm talking back in the Cold War days when, if you were serving out in Germany, as I say, for a prolonged period of time, especially like my unit, we were out there for years and years and years. I did 7 years, almost all of that was in Germany, that 7-year period. It was quite difficult back then to, not impossible, but it was a bit difficult to sustain a relationship with a girl back in UK, say. But it's not impossible, but it was quite difficult. We got to remember we had no emails, no internet, no mobile phones, so it was all letter writing. Yes, you could use the pay phones on camp or in town and ring back home on the landlines, but that's quite a difficult thing to do. Catching people in, you have to pre-arrange stuff. So what tended to happen was many British soldiers out in Germany formed relationships with German girls, and I know my unit had lots of our lads married German girls and settled down in Germany after they left the forces, or they brought their German wife back to UK and they settled in UK afterwards. So I just want to talk to you about it a little bit, about my personal experience. And it may put a smile on your face, I don't know, hopefully. So I was out in Germany, I think I was about 18 or so. I'd been out there about 18 months, something like that. And downtown, I tried to learn German, a little bit of German. And in the end, after sort of 7 years out there, I did pick up quite a bit of the language at the time. And I can still remember quite a lot of it. So language wasn't too much of a barrier because a lot of the German girls our age could speak English. Not all of them, but a lot of them, their English was better than our German. I think most of you might agree with that. So I was downtown in Celle in West Germany. So I was about 18 or so. And I met this young German girl, pretty young German girl. No names, no pack drills. So I met Kirsten. And in the Europa 2000, which was one of the local haunts in town for my unit. So I met her and we got on quite well. And like I said, there's no mobile phones, so we had to sort of pre-arrange we were going to see each other again. So I'd say to her, right, you know, I'll see you back down here next Friday night or whatever it was. And that's how we met up. And we got on quite well. And after about, I don't know, maybe a couple of months or so, she says to me, Keith, do you want to meet, I'd like you to meet my parents. I said, okay, that sounds great. She said, look, come round on Sunday late afternoon and we'll have some dinner and you can meet my parents. They want to meet you. And of course they do. There's their beautiful young German daughter. They found out she's seen some British soldier. I mean, this is like 1979 or something. You know, it's not that long after what happened out there. So what I did on the Saturday before meeting her parents on the Sunday, I went down to the local Naffy supermarket downtown, the family's Naffy, bought myself a nice bottle of malt whiskey, a nice bottle of scotch, proper posh one, in a tube or a little box, I can't remember, it's proper posh. And picked up a small bouquet, look at that, check that out, a small bunch of flowers, to give to her mother. Scotch for her father, flowers for her mother. So on the Sunday, I get appropriately dressed. I mean, you know, stuck a shirt on, a tie, jacket and a pair of trousers. Wasn't far from camp actually, where she lived. The guest up to the house, I say late afternoon. Bit nervous, of course you're nervous. I was anyway. I'd practiced a few German words, at least a greeting, so I could get that right. Knocks the door. And through the wrinkly glass doors, rippled glass door, I could see the figure of someone coming towards the door. It's her mother. Mother opens the door, lovely lady. So I got a bottle of scotch and the flowers in one arm sort of thing, and put my right hand out and very gently shook her mother's hand and introduced myself. And just behind her mother was her father. So I gave the mother the flowers. I then put my hand out to shake her father's hand, and he presented his right hand, or what was left of it. It was basically just a stump. He'd got his thumb, but the fingers on his right hand were all down to the second knuckle, gone. Now, he shook my hand and I gave him the whiskey, and we sat down and we cracked a beer. He spoke no English at all, nor did her mother. As I say, a girlfriend could speak English and she did a bit of translating, and I sort of stumbled through my pidgin German, if you like. Well, it turns out that her father lost his right hand, or most of his right hand, during the Second World War. He was a submariner, and he was stationed up at Bremerhaven, somewhere like that. And there was an air raid. The U-boat was in the harbour on the surface, and there was an Allied air raid. And they all sort of scrambled to get into the submarine to get it underwater and away from being a target, so to speak. And in the hurried rush, his hand was in one of the hatches. And one of the other sailors, the submariners, slammed it shut, the hatch shut, and it took off all the fingers down to the knuckles. So I'm now, you can imagine this, I'm sat now with a German Second World War veteran who has lost most of his hand. And there he is chatting to a British soldier who's seeing his daughter. A little bit awkward. But we got through that. He was very good about it. It was nothing bad. So I had a couple of beers, I think, and then her mother come through and said, dinner's ready. We went through to the dining room. We all sat down. I'm really nervous. I had a fantastic meal. Her mother was an absolutely cracking cook. It was a lovely sort of German roast dinner. And after the meal, we still sat at the table. We'd had a dessert. Her mother then brings out this great big cheese board, great big wooden board, with all these different cheeses on there. Now, this is where it gets a bit spicy. And I've got to watch my language because I don't like to swear on YouTube. So I'd been trying my best German all the way through this meal, and she held the cheese board out and said to me, which cheese would you like? Now, I like strong cheese, always have. And I knew that one of the cheeses that was very strong was sort of nicknamed, and you can check this out if you don't believe me. It's nicknamed Fussenkäse. It's a strong smelling cheese, Fussenkäse, foot cheese. I know, it sounds disgusting, doesn't it? But that was the nickname it was given. And I recognised that cheese. So what I thought was in my best German, I was going to ask for it. Now, to say it's Fussenkäse, Fussen being foot, Fusskäse. The German slang word for a lady's lower parts, footsie. It's one of the slang words for it. And I got the two mixed up, that's right. So instead of asking for foot cheese, I asked for fanny cheese. Well, her father nearly spat his beer out. Her mother just froze and was shocked. Her girlfriend was horrified, and then I clicked what I'd said. And I felt about that bit. I just wanted the ground to swallow me up. Just met her parents and I'm asking for the wrong cheese, if you know what I mean. So we got through that, and embarrassingly finished the meal. And I thought, okay, it's not going great. I'll redeem myself. We went into the lounge and we sat down with a cup of coffee. And I sat down on the sofa. I had to sit between her parents. So I've got a mother on one side, a father on the other side. I'm sat bang in the middle, leaning over this little low coffee table with a little tiny Tassa Cafe, a little cup of coffee. My girlfriend sat in the in the armchair to the side, and they've got the TV on, German TV. I'm sipping on my coffee, feeling quite awkward after my FUPA. And anyway, on the TV was the German dubbed Lauren Hardy, which they called Dick and Dorf, fat and stupid. Lauren Hardy's on the telly, it's in German, but we're all sort of watching this in the background, and I could feel the most enormous urge to fart. I mean, I really wanted to fart. I could feel it building, and I thought, how am I going to get out of this? I'll have to hold on to this badger. Although I know what I do. In a moment, I'll put my coffee down, and I'll very politely ask where the toilet is, and I'll go to the toilet, have a good old fart, and get that badger out of the way. So I'm working this little plan out in my head, watching Lauren Hardy, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but one of them had a plank on his shoulder and turned around like that, and hit the other one on the back of the head, and everyone in the room sort of smiled and giggled a bit, and I relaxed to smile and giggle at the same time. And of course, as I relaxed to laugh, also relaxed my arse cheeks, and the loudest fart. I mean, I'm sat with this cup of coffee in my hand with this massive fart coming out. I couldn't stop it once it's on a roll, like rolling thunder. And I'm sat right between my parents in one room. So anyway, as soon as I'd finished, I put the coffee down saying, excuse me, can I use your toilet? And Kirsty directed me to the toilet, and it was upstairs. So I went upstairs, I sat on the toilet, head in my hands thinking, can this get any worse? I mean, you know, I'd asked for the wrong cheese. I just let rip a massive fart in front of her parents, and I was sat there thinking, what on earth must they be thinking about me? And I curled one off. Now, I think I did a video a while back in Vogelsang last year about the German toilets where you've got the little ledge. So instead of your poop going straight into the water, it lands on a little ledge. It used to on the old German toilets anyway, like an inspection tray. And I laid this log. I mean, it was a serious one. Finished that, cleaned myself up. And now German toilets didn't have a cistern that has to refill. You got a constant, you just press this flusher and it keeps shooting jets of water to push whatever's on the tray off. So I'm giving it maximum because this thing wouldn't go down. It went off the tray, went into the water, with a little tip poking up out of the water like a periscope. So I'm flushing away like mad trying to get rid of it. It wouldn't go. Every time I flushed it, it went down and popped back up. I thought, I can't leave this. I can't leave this Richard III floating around in their toilet. I'm already embarrassed as it is. Now, unbeknown to me, I'm in the toilet right above the lounge. They can hear everything. They can hear me flushing away up there, trying to get rid of this big turd. So I saw the toilet brush at the side by the toilet. I thought, right, I'll give it a bit of a mullering with this. I get the old toilet brush in one hand, and I'm flushing with the other, and I'm mullering this turd, trying to get rid of it. And eventually, I break it up enough, and the system flushes it away. And then I looked at what was a pristine white toilet brush. It's now covered in bits of poo. And I thought, oh, I can't leave that. Can't put that back in its holster. I've got to clean that badger up. So I put the toilet brush in there and kept flushing, trying to get the bits of poo off the bristles. It wasn't coming off very well. And I made a big schoolboy error. I tapped the toilet brush against the rim of the toilet to try and shake the bits of poo off. As I hit it, it was just like a shotgun going off. There was bits of poo all up the tiles. Luckily it was tiled and not water. All these little bits of poo shot up this white tiled wall by the side of the toilet. I thought, you're joking. Anyway, first things first, let's clean the brush up. Got as much poo off the brush as I could, put it back in its holster, and now I've got to deal with the wall. So I grabbed the toilet roll, pulled out loads of that, started wiping the tiles down until I'd cleaned all the poo off. Tidied it all up, flushed it all. I was up there about half an hour. It was epic. I thought, well, I've blown it now. I walked back downstairs, through the door into the lounge, and the three of them just sat there, mouths open, staring at me. I thought, what can I do? So very politely, I turned around in my best German and said, thank you very much for a lovely evening. I think I better go now. And I walked out. That was the end of that badger. The conversation that must have happened after I left, I can't even begin to imagine what that was about. We did actually see each other a couple more times, but it fizzled out. I think I blew it. I never mentioned the incident to her, but it was never going to be the same, was it? I mean, come on. Asking for the cheese, the wrong cheese, letting one rip in front of her parents on the sofa, and then almost blocking the lavatory up with my squatty poo. So I just wonder if any of you guys have got any anecdotes, any memories or funny stories of things that happened when you first met maybe a German girl, if you were stationed out in Germany at some stage of the game. So that's it, troops. We'll carry on with tab now. Thank you for supporting the channel as always, all of you. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. I'm not saying do it, I'm saying consider it. But there'll be more of these stories to come, I promise you. And also, before I go, I'm thinking this year of announcing where I'm going to be on a certain day for Armed Forces Day, in case any of you are in that area and wanted to come down to where I'll be on Armed Forces Day on the Saturday. I think it's the 29th of June this year. But anyway, I'll give the details out later. And if you're about, maybe we can all meet up if any of you are knocking around that area. But anyway, that's for a later date. So, consider subscribing if you can, give us a thumbs up if you can. Keep the comments coming. Great community going on our channel. You know it's awesome. Till the next time, troops. Stay safe and remember, let's tap.